on to the next one. All right, guys. So the last show for let me do that again. All right, guys. So the last movie that we're going to review today is a movie called And Then There Was Joe. All right. Now, this is a film that was, it was directed by Justin Warren. It was written by Justin Warren, and it stars Ray Grady, Justin Warren, and James Butch Warren. So what I'm about to do is, Joe, you want to say anything about that?
No, just run the clip.
Okay.
How's your studying coming?
It's going great.
I try to f your mama. What's everybody in your family? I'm gonna start with your mama.
He's on bail. One mistake and he goes to jail. I just need you to keep him out of trouble until his court date.
I have a bar exam. I don't have time to babysit Suge Knight.
It's my baby right here.
He had sex in my car.
Tell him to. You mad?
Ride box, Chevy sitting on 20 C's. Yeah, that's right. That's what I want. Bass in my car, yeah, you know it's gon' be. Trees in my car, now my whole car leave. I'll keep the tweeters in the front, you know you hear the D. Candy paint full of sugar, I know you.
All right, and then there was Joe. Okay, wow. I don't know what to say. It's a movie that I want to say that this movie had the highest production quality of all these films. You could tell it was a lower budget film, but it was shot, filmed really well. The acting was actually pretty good. It had a good story. It's just something that you can sit down and watch. It's really hard to explain. There was nothing about this movie that stood out. Nothing was really that great. There was funny moments. I felt that the actor who played the corny brother, he was actually really good. He really pulled off that really square kind of a new age Carlton thing going on. He was really good and very believable. The other guy was supposed to be the thug. It was pretty good. I don't know if he's a comedian or not. So it was a entertaining film. The script was pretty believable, a little predictable, but pretty believable. The only thing that kind of bothered me was the father character, who just was supposed to be this judge, who was really uninvolved and nonchalant. But I like the dynamic. It was an interesting little film to watch, and what else can I say, Joe?
Okay. Well, I had a different take on it. I was totally impressed by what he was able to accomplish at such a young age. And this guy, Justin, from a directorial standpoint, he has a really good eye, and I think that he's going to make some noise in the future. This particular film, to me, was, again, a little disjointed. The characters didn't come together well enough for me. I understood where he was trying to take us, but I just didn't, the pieces of the puzzle were missing. But overall, it was entertaining. Comedy is very difficult. Comedy is very difficult to pull off on film because timing is very important. And I think that this could have been another Friday had he had a little bit more experience as a director. And I would have loved to see him hold this in his pocket until he was able to get more comedic timing in terms of directing and make this movie 2-3 years from now where it would have been a classic.
All right, Joe, I agree with everything you said. You said something really, really good, is that, and the reason why I wanted us to watch it is because I did feel that Friday from the trailer, I did feel that Friday essence, and it was almost there, and it didn't fall as flat. I can't really say it fell flat. I'm gonna say they just didn't go for the juggler. You know what I'm saying? It was almost there. And you know what? You're absolutely correct. It was just on the, like I said, it was a good, entertaining film, but it could have been a classic. It really could have been a classic.
It had potential. If he would have just developed the script a little bit more, I thought the characters were interesting. I thought his character was interesting.
Yes.
His brother's character was interesting.
Oh, yes.
Even the father's nonchalant attitude to the two brothers until it became a little tumultuous. Even that was interesting. The guys who the brothers hung out with, they could have been developed a little bit more. They could have been a little bit more menacing because of the structure. One of the parts that I thought he pretty much nailed was when they went to get the brother's car back, and he was two shoes, and I thought that was hilarious. I actually kind of laughed a little bit out loud at that portrayal. So I thought he did good, and I think that he has a lot of potential. He's a young man, and I think in the future, as long as he is willing to leave himself open, that he'll be a name that you'll hear down the road.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Joe. I think that this film, if you look at the film and the style of the film, it had the most in terms of from a person making a film. You could tell that this guy has the greatest, from the directors that I've seen and scripts, that this guy has the greatest future in this industry. You could really see something special that almost bubbled in the film. So what do you give it, Joe?
So I give this film 2.5 gorillas.
You know what, Joe? I'm gonna give it 3 gorillas.
Oh shit.
I'm gonna give it.
All right.
I'm gonna give it 3 gorillas, and the reason why I'm gonna give it 3 gorillas is because I can tell this was a totally independent film. It was shot in Arkansas. When the hell have you ever seen a film shot in Arkansas? And it was enjoyable. They pulled it off. You know, it could have been, to say that something is good but could have been a classic. That's a damn good review. You understand what I'm saying? So when something could have been, like, you could have almost been Jordan. You know how good you got to be to almost be Jordan? Yeah. So I'm gonna give it 3 stars.
Not necessarily now. Hold on now. Because motherfucking whatchamacallit, what's that boy name, came out of went to Miami. He was supposed to be the next Jordan.
Power Minor?
Yeah.
But we already got the next Jordan. That's LeBron James.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, because you could be and you did not.
You know, you're right. But as you say, and I'm piggybacking off of you, Joe, from an overall film perspective, this was of all the films that we talked about today. Now, this is just my opinion. I don't know if you agree. This was the best crafted of all 3 films.
I wouldn't say that. I think that the director has the most potential out of the 3 directors that we saw. But I think his problem was the same problem as everybody else, which was an incohesive script, poor timing, lack of direction to the actors. But out of all of them that suffered the same fate, he had the most glimmer of hope of correcting it.
Okay, so would you say that there was one of the crafted, just all together, just put together, crafted as a film? You would say that one of the 2 are better than this?
I wouldn't say it's better. It's just
crafted together as a film. I'm not saying
crafted
better.
Together as a film, I would say it would be almost on the same level as Love.com. One is a romantic story, the other one is a comedy, so it's kind of hard to see it. But when you peel it back the layers and you look at it piece by piece, I put them 2 on the same level, Love.com, and then there was Joe. neither one of them developed their characters strong enough for me to be fully and truly entertained. But I liked both of them the same way. I disliked both of them the same way.
Well, I'm gonna disagree with you on that, because if you look at, and then there was Joe, those characters were very well developed. From the opening scene where he was trying to buy the ring and she was trying to give him a $600 discount, and he was like, no, rules are rules. They made him out to be that guy. And the other guy was a total thug in the street, screw up. They really developed those characters to the archetypes where you know this guy's like this and this guy's like that, right? And you kind of felt, you wanted the other guy to, you know, get his life together.
You're misconstruing introduction with development. So they introduced the characters well, but they didn't develop the characters well enough for me. Joe was developed very well. We knew who Joe was, but we did not necessarily know who Ben was. Ben,
you talking about the nerd? The square?
Yeah, we knew.
He was to me, he made the movie.
But we didn't know what his character, I didn't know what Ben's direction was. Like, I knew who Joe was. I know why Joe left. I know why Joe and the father, why I understood all of that. But what I didn't, like, there was things that was introduced about Joe that they could have been developed that they didn't, like his artistic career. They could have went deeper into that.
Yes, true.
The things that they could have done with that whole situation with the brother, with Ben, him and his wife, him with the fiance. I never understood the relationship between him and his fiance.
Yes,
didn't get what that was about. I didn't get why he disliked his brother so much. They kind of try to talk about it, but for what he discussed, it wasn't warranted. Like, where was he trying to go, Ben, that would be such a hindrance for his brother to be involved? I didn't get it. It was just one of those things I just didn't.
Well, I think, Joe, I totally got it, because type A's, right, that's trying to go to law school, trying to live up in his father's footsteps, type A's don't don't mess with people that act like Joe. They just don't.
Well,
so to me, that was just.
Hold on, let me explain something to you. This is the Gary Ajene and Joe Grant show. So fuck ass and shit comes out. That's gonna happen, goddamn it.
Okay, so what I'm saying is that I didn't think that had to be developed, because like he's a square. I mean, they totally developed him as a square. Squares don't rock with gangsters. It just, in general.
Like I said, I got what he was trying to do, but in a storytelling perspective, he missed the mark a couple of times. And that's just out of him being young, right? So this is his first film. This is him being young. And again, I think that as a director, not film-wise, but as a director, down the road, he has a lot of potential. And I'm eager to see what he does next and how he